of love
Life of love.
with Joy Wilson.
Hello, dear friends, and welcome to another episode of Life of Love, where we gather every week to bring forth the expression of the best day that we can live. And, every day it looks a little different. So however your day is expressing itself, we honor the bumps, we honor the cruises, we honor the joy, we honor the pain. Every single part of it is so, so important. And I don't want to minimize anyone's hard times or even glean over anyone's wonderful times. I'm so happy to be here on this planet with everyone right now. And it's my birthday, so I'm in a special birthday mood. And just, I played with my crystal singing bowls this morning, and I posted the video on YouTube already because I was so excited about it. So, yes. So welcome to Life of Love. Thanks for tuning in again. And we have a very elegant, graceful, accomplished guest today, Sophia Torini. And just so honored to have her. I've been looking forward to this, and you guys stick around to the end. She has so many pearls of wisdom, and we're going to get weird. We're going to talk about some stuff that this might blow your mind a little bit, but that's what we're here for. We're here to offer, insights and curiosities that might make you look at your life in a different way, give you a perspective that, maybe it'll be a changer, like a life changer, or an epiphany moment that you're like, oh, maybe I'm going to look at this through this lens, and who knows? I'm just excited. I'm excited to bring forth this message with Sophia. She's been a transformative catalyst in the realm of personal health and well-being. She was involved with industrial medicine, is what I like to call it. And she's broken away to more of a spiritual centered. She is emotional freeing. It's called EFT. Some people colloquially call it tapping. It is amazing. You can't believe how well this works. I've been doing it for, I could say, almost 15 years. I never got trained, but it changed the way I could react with my emotions. So I honor the practice of EFT, and, check that out too. We might glean on that, but EFT is great. And then she's also studied under Dr. Joe Dispenza, which, he's like a household name with spirituality and mindset and quantum consciousness. So yeah, I'm really excited. And without further ado, hello, Sophia. Thanks for being on Life of Love.
Hi, and thank you for the lovely intro. And it's an honor to be on your show and share my experience with your audience. But most important, I want to wish you happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. I'm honored to have you here as a guest. It goes both ways. And thank you for the birthday wishes. I'm excited. I'm 51 today. Last year was like, I'm halfway to 100, and now I'm like, I'm closer. So fun.
This is not as old as we think anymore. And actually, we can grow our telomeres. So that's one of the research meditators. Their telomeres grow, and it's your telomeres that basically predetermine how long you're going to live.
When you say telomeres, those are the
little
ends of your chromosomes?
Yeah. Meditators, I can't remember the exact number, but I think a week of meditation may extend it a day or something. There is a number, actually.
Wow. Well, I've asked God to give me the time I need to get everything done that I want to get done, and not be a spaz about working 24/7, because for me it's like balance. I'm a generator. My human design is generator. So I'll go until I hit a wall, and I'm like, well, that wasn't really productive, right? So it's a really fun way to look at life when you ask for more time, and you realize you can make more time by creating space for yourself, like taking that time for yourself. Oh my goodness. So, wow. I love how you hack reality. And I wondered if you would share that. And I know we're going to talk about frequency, but what is a reality hacker? Please.
Okay, so let's first talk what creates our reality. So our thought, emotions, and deeds projects the reality, which is downloaded inside of a brain. No one see it in front of it. And usually the reality is a delayed projection of our experiences, right? So when we have traumatic experiences or limiting beliefs, we believe our past is real, and we keep on replaying those thoughts, and we take our yesterday, you don't need a magic ball, and you plaster it on tomorrow. So your tomorrow is a predictable future based on the past, right? Because you keep on replaying all of the stuff. But where are these memories stored? Well, they are stored between your neurons. So we know now, based from neuroscience, that it's between the neurons that hold this memory, but it's the emotion that's holding it stuck, right? So if we release the emotion and we release the limiting belief, now you can go back in time because there is no time, right? All past, present, and future is happening right now. You've pruned, let's say you're not playing that story and you keep on every day pruning that synaptic connection between the two neurons. Now you can rewrite a new memory and a new story. So that's how you hack reality. The traditional name in EFT is called matrix re-imprinting. I got trained from someone who's more advanced and has taken it further. So he could not use the same name, and he calls it hacking reality. So what I can say from my experience, now that I've been doing it for a while, some of my memories are disappearing from childhood. And now it's my opportunity to replace them. So certain bad memories, well, are coming, well, it wasn't as bad. Maybe it doesn't even have to be that way. Do I really need to remember it that way? And they're somehow fading away because what was holding it was the emotional charge that was never processed, and of course the story or the belief that came with it. So if you keep on now putting new memories in your mind consciously and rewriting them, and how do we rewrite them? We can't just visualize them. We need emotion. That's what holds it inside the body, which is why the emotion is so important. Now you can project a new reality. And then eventually that gets wiped out. It's like upgrading your software, right? You upgrade the file, you saved your new file. Where's the old file? It's gone. You don't remember what you wrote a month ago if you rewrote it 20 times. You may have a glimpse memory at some point. This is the new story.
Yeah. Well, it does make sort of sense, because when 5 people can be in a situation, all 5 people can have a different accounting of what exactly happened. So that makes sense that your memories are tied to the emotion, because that's how you're focusing your perspective. Wow. So I guess I want to ask, if you can replace whatever emotion that is holding you back, that's blocking you from your abundance, that's blocking you from living the life you want to live. If you can replace it with another emotion for love, really.
There's a caveat. So when there's a traumatic memory, so you remember the old strips where they would have a reel and it was picture frame, picture frame, picture frame, right? So when we process our emotions correctly, there's picture frame, picture frame, picture frame. When there's a trauma, all the emotions and the time stamping of that little strip is not done correctly. On your own, you cannot just replace it like that. What is emotion? Emotion is energy in motion. And what is energy? Information. So if the information is not read and processed, then you cannot replace it. But what we can do, feel the emotion, process the story, let it go. Once you've let it go, now you can replace it with love. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because energy can never be created or destroyed. It can only be transmuted. So where are the stuff held? A copy is held in the brain, but a second copy is held in the cells of your body, because the body is the subconscious mind. And that's where Chinese medicine helps us and says, well, the liver holds anger, the kidneys hold fear. So it has to leave the body by you feeling it, and it doesn't have to be days or years, just processing it. Usually energy goes up or it goes down. And once it leaves, now you can put in the new picture with the positive memory. So you're using visualization, or I would use the word imagining, because people get stuck with visualize. Imagining with emotion, with an elevated emotion. And now, yes, we can do exactly what you said. But let's take it even further, right? So the traumatized person, if we're living in the multiverse, for major decisions, I do not believe for every single decision there's another you, because there's conservation of the reality. But for major decisions, there's another you. So if there's there's a better version of you that's in a higher vibrational universe. So when you align to it, you can move to that you. So once you let go what was holding you in this reality, which was limitation because of your emotions, thoughts, and deeds, yes, you can go and live in the other.
Wow. So to me, I'm picturing like all these different me's, and I have free will. So I can make a choice that doesn't serve me, that might have consequences that I don't like. I could halfway make a choice and let the momentum of my life around me do it. And I'm simplifying this, or I can make the highest good choice and be with that divine princess who just is graceful and walks on water, and can't always be that person, right? But she's there, and it's an empowered choice to connect with those different. And we've talked about this on Life of Love before, how we have different personalities. We have the child, the maiden, we have the seductress, and we have the crone who's wise. And to me, those are different timeline shifts, and these are different dimensions that we can access. And it's all free will. It's just how you're going to use that little space, like you said, between your neurons, that little synapses between your emotions, your thoughts, and your words and your deeds, to choose what serves you best. And then when you choose what serves you best, everybody else can be elevated. So it's like, to me, that's the new earth, is everyone consistently choosing their best, highest good, not in selfishness, but in they just want to show up as their best self.
And then a collective group of observers create reality. So we're not changing this reality. We're actually going to move to a reality that's better, and eventually we don't see that. Right now, if you remember who you are, you're having your own reality and you're seeing what's playing out there, but it's not affecting you. Eventually, assuming you can maintain the higher vibration and you know who you are, that you are spirit or divine spark having a human experience, if enough of us keep on focusing on what we want to create, that movie out there is not going to longer be seen anymore. That's when the split is going to happen. Now, we don't have an exact time frame. Some people speculate it could be 26, 27. I don't know when it's going to be. Personally, I'm aiming for about 27 myself. And so we won't see that. It's going to fall off. So we're seeing both realities, but we won't be seeing both realities because our goal is to bring heaven on earth. That's basically what we're trying to do, where we were actually had hell on earth.
Right. And all the stuff we've been through has been a huge detox. I mean, even think about the solar flares. The sun is trying to upgrade us. We're going through these really intense times with fires and floods, and Mother Earth is screaming out to us, and these things are all happening because there's a huge cleanse of negativity. And it's you can spin it out of fear, or you can spin it out of, well, these are changes. We're illuminating things in our society that nobody likes. Like, we're not putting up with this violence anymore. Like, nobody's associating with these acts of violence and division. And I have never seen so many times on my social media feed how people on both sides are saying, we're tired of the division. Because everybody just wants to live an abundant, happy, they want to be around their family. They want to have money to go on vacation. Nobody wants to be super rich and an elitist. Everyone just wants to live a nice life. And we can all do that. We can all do that if people aren't trying to control and put an overlay of fear and in this illusion of separation. So I shout it from the rooftops, please don't be scared. Please don't get stuck in that, because you're going to create that reality around you. It's like your brain will look for what you want to see.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the 3D game is ending. We've collectively decided that it ended. So how the 3D game is still working, which is why you see what's happening out there. So the 3D game feeds off your first three energy centers, which is anger, fear, shame, whatever. Like the Monster Inc. That was the movie?
Oh,
The
yeah, when they got their energy from the Scream machine.
That's correct.
Yes.
They're doing the same. So what's perpetuating the reality is people who are agreeing unconsciously, because they're not doing it consciously, to be angry or in fear. Our reality is self-generated through the heart center. So love self-generates, and eventually the less people that are aligning with that, it's going to lose its power, because it needs an external source, where the 5D game does not need an external source.
I love this so much. I love it so much. I'm just holding space for that. And I have found myself telling people, don't be scared. We've been through so much. Don't be scared. Things are happening. We're going through changes. Please don't have fear. It's going to be okay. It's so good. It's so good. Well, I know that we have a few more minutes.
Yes.
Another thing, and you were talking about, well, the whole frequency thing. That's how you change your reality.
Right. Let's talk about
chose
timelines. Okay. So a lot of people have challenges, and let's assume the health challenge, right? So
Okay.
someone's suffering from an illness and the body is deteriorating, and somehow we've been programmed that we need to fix this body. We're actually not fixing this body, because the body is a projection of your thoughts, emotions, and deeds, right? So that's what it is. It's projected from your consciousness. When your consciousness changes, you shift, like a TV channel. You were watching SVU and you decided you're going to watch comedy now. You change the channel. SVU is still going on. So the ill body is going to continue going on, but you shifted to the comedy channel, where there's a version of you, or I would say the higher vibrational channel, right? A higher vibrational you that has a healthier body. So your consciousness occupies that body. So this body never ceases to exist. It's just your consciousness is not living it. So the way we know that is based on two experiments. The first experiment, I'm going to make it very fast and simple, and both of them got the Nobel Prize. The first one was the double slit experiment. So they took a slit and there was a wall behind, and they shot particles the first time, like real material balls. What do you get? You get two lines, of course, because it's matter. You shoot with a gun, little balls, you're going to get two dents on the other side, because that's what matter does. But then they took photonic light, laser gun that produces photonic light. And who are you? You're made out of photonic light. That's who you are, yourself. That's what your consciousness is before it comes in this reality. So they take the laser gun and they shoot these photonic beams. Well, they thought they were going to get two lines, but they never got two lines. They got multiple lines, infinite possibility. It's called the wave function. So all the possibilities were there. So it wasn't two lines, there were two slits, infinite possibilities. Now they decided to put a camera. The moment they put the camera, or you could put a cat, you could put a dog, the moment there's an observer or you watching, when you shoot the photonic light, now you get two lines. So you actually collapsed it into matter. So your infinite possibilities, your realm of any possibility that you wanted in the world, the moment your consciousness focuses on it with a limiting belief, it's going to collapse it to that option, right? But if you keep on the expansion of the feeling of joy, you're going to have infinite possibilities because that's what your consciousness is going to attract. Now let's discuss the second one, which was mind-boggling. So they found a way by using entangled particles. And I don't want to complicate what entangled particles are, but basically what one particle does, the other one does. So you know if this spins that way, the other one's going to spin the same way.
They're copycatters.
Right. So you know what they're doing because the whole key here is not to observe because the moment you observe, you collapse the wave function. So they set this complicated example with several mirrors and they traced where the photonic, the laser gun, those particles went. And I'm just going to make it simple. There were 4 obstacles, 4 mirror sets, and they observed it went infinite possibilities, which means many lines, infinite possibilities, infinite possibilities. They went to the 4th one because it's not being recorded. And then they decided the last mirror station to record it. So the moment it got recorded, went back in time and changed the outcome to the 2 lines, the 2 lines, the 2 lines. So you collapse the wave function. So when is the past created? Your past is created right now. You think your past was created in the past, but it wasn't created in the past. That's what you think in your head. So every moment, if you keep on deleting your past and not remembering, and you just say, I arrived here today, you will eventually disassociate and disconnect from the past. But if you keep on bringing your past into your awareness, you're going to keep on creating the past. So the moment of observation is when your future is created and your past is created. Your past was not created in the past. I know people have a hard time with it, but that's what quantum physics experiments prove.
Wow. And it seems like this should be like shouted from the rooftops. Like everybody should know about this. I mean, the observer effect is so powerful because your consciousness takes the infinite possibilities and says, yep, it's this. And it's limiting. That's why it's a limiting belief. It's limited by what you believe it should be.
Well, this reality is how much can you limit yourself? It's the avatar that we put on that we limit because there's 2 of you. There's Cain inside of you and Abel, Ida and Pingala. So Cain has so much limitation, he wants to kill his brother, right? And so the king can't do anything, but Abel is willing to do everything. And so when the 2 harmonize in your brain, because that's eventually where the energies align, right? Your 33 years of Jesus are your 33 spinal bones. That's what the 33 years are, ascending up the frequency inside to your brain. When they meet, now you eventually remembered who you are. Those are the 33 years of Jesus. It wasn't 33 years in life, actually.
Because we're all one. Every single thing is part of us. And, that's a huge thing because so many doctrines preach that, that you have shame and there's all these things. But as soon as you realize that everything is a part of you, every evil thing is a part of you, every good thing, we're here to experience the relativity.
There was one energy that created it all.
Yeah. God doesn't make mistakes, and that I always say that there's no mistakes. You can make choices, and people can do things that have consequences you don't like, but that it's not a mistake. It was something that needed to be worked through at some level, and grace and compassion to things that you can't wrap your head around, because that's the way to shift the timeline, is to not judge and shame, to say, wow, that was a tough choice, that that was a rough one to work through, but God doesn't put us in these things randomly. Everything is part of this, like you said, this avatar, this experience that we're having. And how freeing to not be responsible for it all, to say, I'm just going to look at it the way I want to look at it. And it's not Pollyanna, it's empowering. I wonder how many letters are in like the common letters between empower and Pollyanna. I'm gonna have to write it out. I love the way they sound the same. It just clicked in my head how close they are. I love puns, but oh my goodness, Sophia, it's just I those two experiments they got awards. And if people want to look at them more closely, what are the names of them again?
One is the double slit experiment, and the other one is the double slit quantum eraser. And they both got the Nobel Prize. I think one was done in 99. I can't remember the year of the other one. And no matter how many times they repeat it, they always get the same result. Always get the same. And there's wonderful, and they are explained on YouTube. So they're very well done. I've also written 2 blogs about them on my website. So they can find them on my website under tapintoyourbestself.com/blog. And then they can find the double slit experiment explained. And I think I have the eraser. I also have the 7 seen mirrors, which are the mirrors of the reality. So if they want to know rules of the reality, I have some articles or blogs, I should say, that explain that. And
do those parallel anything with the universal laws?
That is the Hermetic principles. I do have an article on the 7 Hermetic principles.
Okay. I love that. I remember looking that up one time. Someone just said it in passing. I was like,
yeah.
Universal laws? What is that? It's just so
yes,
fun.
I have the 7. There are actually 11 universal laws, but I do the 7 based on the book Kabbalion. So yes. And then you have the mirrors, right?
Nice.
So the mirrors is what the reality is created, because we are in our own uni by ourselves verse. So everybody else is a projection of you. Neville Goddard, who was a famous mystic, said everybody is yourself pushed out, right? So you're seeing everybody on your own filter, because every person's divine self is perfect. But we're seeing them limited because we're in this experience. So we couldn't have this experience if everybody was perfect. We couldn't have had duality. So we're seeing them on our filter. But when you go and look at the old sages and the Buddha, when they eventually evolve and they enlighten, they see everyone perfect.
Yeah, and it's interesting, the ancient wisdom traditions, the Kabbalah, the mystical Muslim tradition, the I Ching, and I don't know all of them, but when you get to the mysticism, that there's so many commonalities, and those sects became taboo or not mainstream, but to me that's where all the magic and the empowerment is in those wisdom traditions, and I'm just excited to see them come forward again, and the secrets of the ancient Egyptian temples and the power store, and just the idea that there's a burn mark up the center shaft of one of the pyramids. I'm like, well, that had to be some kind of energy center, but nobody talks about it. Well, not mainstream talks about it. I found some YouTube videos about.
There were ascension centers, but all of it is coming back now.
Yay!
Because we're raising our frequency. It was the fall of our frequency that we lost the information. We're going back up. So we're going up the spiral. And so the information is going to come back up. There's no other way to go.
Well, thank you for sharing your journey with us. This has been a really, really enlightening conversation, and so many tidbits to, little breadcrumbs to look at. And I just loved what came forward. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for the invitation.
Anytime. I feel like we only got to the surface of this.
That's okay. Well, what I want to leave your audience, that no matter what is plaguing, whether it's an experience or a health challenge or a situation, there's another reality where the problem does not exist. And the way to tackle it is not, I know a lot of people love rituals, but it's not by ritual. There's nothing wrong with rituals, but emotions have to be processed. The body keeps the score, so emotions are there to be felt. So if they can feel and release the limiting emotions, let go of the limiting belief, And that's where EFT does miracles and then hacking reality. Now they can create the reality they want by using the mental image of what it is that they want with the new emotion that you mentioned before, love, happiness, joy, relief. And so I want the audience to know, or your people on, they don't have to watch someone else's movie anymore, because up till this point, we've been in someone else's reality. It wasn't ours.
So the way to get to your reality, your best self, is to process the things you've gone through, and no one can tell you what that is. And I can tell you from personal experience, the tapping, you'll tap on something like, even though my feelings are hurt because I wasn't invited to the movies with my friends, I completely love and accept myself. And then you're like, well, I'm feeling isolated. And then you realize, as you tap through these energy points, you realize that it wasn't that they didn't call you. It's that, this reminded you of when, your mom forgot to pick you up from the playground, or from soccer practice, or when your brother locked you in the closet, and like all these things will start coming up, and you get to keep tapping. Even though I have abandonment issues, I love and accept myself. And you're like, you're just giving yourself space to feel all these things, and time to process through them. But yeah, if you can find someone to help you go through it, it's a beautiful practice. And I still do it. Even though that person cut me off in traffic, I completely love and accept myself because I got, frustrated with them, or, even though I feel like they didn't respect my lane, I completely love and accept myself. You can use it on anything. Even though my husband forgot to replace the toilet paper, I completely love and accept myself, because, if you're being a victim with anything, it's because you haven't accepted your role in it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Your toilet paper roll.
The
Yeah,
emotion is holding you back. If I have a second, I want to make it, because you brought an interesting comment.
Yeah.
So all patterns started between the ages of 1 and 7. And even if they're from another timeline, because the other timeline or your other lifetime is happening now, there was a trigger in this one, right? So,
Right.
and it can go up till the ages of 13. And that has a fractal, and it keeps on replaying in your life. So what happens every day, we keep on replaying with different characters the same story that you happened that time you got locked in the closet,
Yeah.
till you get resolved. So the universe, it keeps on bringing you experiences, not the same story, with the same emotion.
Yes.
You figured it out. So if you go back and clean up some of those traumatic memories, your future now has changed, and you brought it in very nicely. That's the purpose of EFT. The purpose of EFT is to alleviate some challenges in the now, but to go and find those imprints that you're actually carrying probably from another timeline as well, and clear them once and for good, and they're gone. And now you're free. So
Yes.
you did it very well done. You couldn't have phrased it better. And that's what I guide people to. That's my love and joy, guiding them so they can do that.
Well, thank you. It's great work. But I've tried to teach people who weren't ready, and they just look at you like, what are you talking about? Like the messenger the teacher appears when the student is ready, right? So open up the idea that you can process through these things, and you're worthwhile. It's time well spent. I mean, how many times do you do something that isn't time well spent? And if you can spend a few moments just exploring these things and releasing, I mean, I feel like I've lost wrinkles. I mean, I feel like I look younger than I did 10, 15 years ago, because I've released these things, and I don't worry about things that I used to worry about because I dealt with them. And I'm not standing on a soapbox. I'm just telling people I've done the work.
You did lose the wrinkles. I'm not challenging that, actually, because the low frequency deteriorates the body. The higher frequency regenerates the cells. So you
Like you
replace
said.
the wrinkle cells that had the
Yeah.
trauma with neutral cells, and some with joy.
Well, I wish everyone a day filled with joy, and I'm going to go have a birthday dinner with my family. And I appreciate your time, and everybody, thanks for sharing and subscribing. And being a part of Life of Love. And Sophia, all the best, my dear. You're a dear sister.
Thank you very much and enjoy your evening. And thanks. An honor to be again on your show. Thank you.